Hey, what's up guys? This is Sarah X, aka Amazon, and if you haven't seen Black Panther yet, I know you're out there like,
come out! The Black Panther is ready for you!
But have no fear, I'm not here to ruin the movie for you. Instead, I'd love to present you with this really cool conversation I had with Vitamin D Cosplay, who works as an after-school mentor for kids and uses cosplay as the tool for community building, with, of course, Black Panther being the focal point. So sit back, relax, and prepare to get schooled by Vitamin D Cosplay. What is your cosplay origin story?
My first one was actually ASIN. I was Iron Man for that, and I had so much fun. And I wanted to go ahead and do more of it. I was 21. I was in the role of like Tony Stark. That is cosplay. When you're in costume and you're role playing, you know, that's cosplay by my book. Now being more deeper into it, whereas like there was a little bit more creation on my part, less of like the, you know, going out and shopping and putting together like toys and already made costumes. Was the Silver Surfer back in 2012. I put in some extra time like in the gym so I can make sure I feel the confidence and really bring the presence of the Silver Surfer. A friend of mine came by, she body painted me all silver, and that was quite the adventure because I didn't have a car at that time. So I actually took public transportation to go over to Wizard World. I was like, no, I'm going to Wizard World as the Silver Surfer. And so I'm just like on trains passing through the city as the Silver Surfer. I'm like, no, it's happening. I'm showing.
That's awesome. Are there any characters in particular you feel a special connection to that you've done?
I would say so, but like many of them are like for different reasons. So like one of my cosplays I have is of course like the Black Panther. I was originally introduced to Black Panther by watching the Fantastic Four like 90s series. I was like, this guy's a beast. So I really like the Black Panther. From that perspective, I feel like the connection I have to him is a person who's all about you gotta start off and take care of your community first. There's a lot of crazy things going on like with the world or things going on with your city. You gotta take care of your community, you gotta take care of home, you gotta take care of your people first. And hopefully everybody else falls in line and follows suit of taking care of their environments.
So I know some people maybe who don't even know a lot about cosplay have seen the hashtag going around of 28 days of Black cosplay.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, so 28 days of Black cosplay is a hashtag that's for Black cosplayers to basically go ahead and not so much just display their work, but show visibility of us being able to cosplay as anyone we want to be. For the whole month of February for in recognition of Black History Month.
And I know you're featuring people as well on your Instagram.
Mm-hmm. I actually been making time for each cosplayer to be like tagged or featured like on my Instagram and stuff like that. And I'll put something that I've learned from them or something that they've done that has been beneficial to the cosplay community.
That's awesome. So we'll put that in the description so you guys can follow Vitamin D Cosplay.
Yes.
I know that in addition to cosplaying, you're also involved in putting events together. Can you talk a little bit about PocketCon and what your involvement was with that?
Yeah, PocketCon is a one-day event. Takes place Saturday. And the whole purpose of the convention is bringing representation to underrepresented groups in the comic book and media industry. Either they're creating the content or they are the focus of like the stories. We have cosplay contests as well in various workshops. It's a big Chicago production, but it's a combination of the Free Rights Arts Program and the and Chicago Public Libraries. They put on this awesome event. Actually brought in the after school program that I volunteer for to actually like lead and organize the game room known as the Coliseum. And that's where like kids from all over, you know, the city come by to basically they compete in video game tournaments and stuff like that. The whole purpose of PocketCon is bridging that gap of like kids who don't have the money and the resources to go attend like conventions out like in the suburbs or actually just in other states and things of that sort. This is the opportunity for them to get in contact with like local comic book artists, and like I said, when it comes to the Coliseum, now for esports, because esports has taken off so much that, you know, we got kids getting scholarships in that right now. So we want to make more tournaments where they can actually go ahead and, be seen on a greater stage. So that's what I did for the Coliseum. And then the other half, of course, the cosplay aspect. I had organized the cosplay contest, and the judges we had were from different cosplay groups. So we had Costumers with a Cause. They do various charity events, walkathons, Make-A-Wish Foundation events. Age of the Geeks, they pretty much do the same thing, and they also have some very fun, rowdy parties, like for the older adult cosplay community. We have Papa Bear Cosplay represent the Chicago People of Color cosplay group that's based here in Chicago. All those different groups, they came together and they helped judge, and then Rob Fury from Age of the Geeks, he actually emceed the cosplay contest, and we had awesome donations from Arda Wigs for that. Honestly, you just can't thank her enough, because she reached out, to actually donate some gift certificates so we can give them out as prizes to kids to go ahead and now see what Arda Wigs is about. And that's a national brand of wig. So.
Alright, so I know we were talking briefly about Black Panther and you connecting to it because of a sense of building community and taking care of your community. So you're kind of living that out in your volunteer work at the clubhouse, right?
Yes.
Will you tell us a little bit about how it works?
Yeah, the Howard Area Clubhouse, it's a program that's designed for at-risk youth to be able to develop new skills through different STEAM projects in the Rogers Park area. One STEAM focus that I do with them a lot is cosplay. You got the science, you got the technology, engineering, art, and math. So that's what STEAM is. It's open to kids from many different neighborhoods, things of that sort. So it's not too inclusive. It's not only just for Rogers Park, but that is the main focus and goal. Take care of the Rogers Park community. Yeah. The neighborhood has a soft spot in my heart. So.
Oh, you're from here?
Yeah, I'm originally from Rogers Park.
Some of the projects that I've seen them do have been things like working on getting scholarships for kids for video gaming, or building cosplays, or building their own video games. Can you talk about some of your favorite projects that you've done with the kids?
It's always got to be the cosplay. Working with cosplaying them, a lot of kids got free tickets to C2E2.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was because one of the cosplay groups I was part of at the time when I very first started volunteering at the Howard Area Clubhouse, We Are Cosplay, and it was open to the members to be able to go ahead and try to get a spot in the St. Patrick's Day Parade to represent C2E2. So I was it was a fun ongoing project with the kids, because they wanted to go to C2E2. My whole goal was get them to go ahead and see more comic book conventions that they never been to, and C2E2 was an awesome show. So the goal was to first set them up, let them be able to put together costumes, whether it was through EVA foam, learning how to go the route of closet cosplays, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the skill of sewing, but it's kind of how to put together your costume where it's believable that you put in some type of work, and then rearranging some of your clothes to have certain types of looks. Actually, Sunny Doom Cosplay was also volunteering on that project, and came in and helped doing some sewing tutorials with some of the kids. And I believe by the time we did the St. Patrick's Day Parade, we got 5 or 6 kids who got free C2E2 tickets.
That's awesome.
For participating. So yeah. So as far as the cosplay project was concerned, that was my favorite project, because that just opened the door going forward for us to do more projects and focusing on attending conventions, because I just want these kids to be able to experience what it's like to network with people in the industry. Because these kids think that, man, I have to go to Hollywood, or they think that none of these awesome things and opportunities are taking place here in Chicago, but it's just because nothing has been presented to them, and a lot of people would assume they're not interested for whatever reason, what have you. But no, they want to go, and they are going.
Yeah, I've noticed the cosplay bug around here. One thing that I've noticed, and even listening to you talk, You and the other volunteers here seem to really push the kids to tap into their creativity and whatever they're interested in. Whatever you're passionate about can become a career. And I think it's really positive and powerful that you guys are teaching that early. I think a lot of the time we see a kid interested in music or art or whatever, and instead of pushing that forward, we try to rein it back in and be like, okay, well, that can be your hobby, but what do you want to do? Can you talk a little bit about how you have worked with them to build actual businesses? I know I've seen like a perler bead business and like a t-shirt business. Can you talk about some of the actual businesses that have come out of your organization?
Yeah, it's been a lot. Most recent project has been working with one of our youth that does perler bead art, and showing them like the different types of avenues to keep them competitive in that scene, especially when it comes to conventions, because they came out to PocketCon. It was their first time being able to sell like their own perler bead art, and she did very, very well. So for her first day and things of that sort. So first what we do is we find out what is interesting to them, like what is their hobby, and we go ahead and go the route of like, okay, so this is your hobby. Let's see if we can become like at least a novice at your hobby. And then if the kid is like really interested, and then because some of these kids, they excel and they become pros at it, and then they just go ahead and just start selling their art on the spot. We're just kind of like, well, if people love it, let them buy it. That's another great thing about PocketCon, allowing us to be able to do that with youth. We actually had a team of youth who had their own business. It was called Bad Vibes, and they actually created like tie-dye t-shirts. And so they would tie-dye shirts, and then they would screen print nerdy logos and stuff like that. So they had like a Pikachu with a mustache, like different types of Pokeballs. They had at the time when Pokemon Go was hot, they like had the different Pokemon logos. One of our youth actually made this like pretty awesome mural here. It's like you're seeing all the cast of like all the Disney movies. You see Mickey Mouse and all of that, and but they did like a Tim Burton take on it, and I would say like that has been that's cool. That has been like one of the most exciting pieces, and like one of the biggest draws here at the clubhouse. Like when people come in, because it's the first thing they see, and she is a very, very awesome and talented artist. So I think we can put her Instagram here, because she does commissions and stuff like that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and shamelessly like tag her work.
Absolutely.
Good.
We love shameless tagging.
Good.
That is what this channel is all about.
Solid. Perfect. So so she actually is, I believe right now she's working on doing illustrations for a children's book. Oh, and the other thing is, we remind kids, like the first thing we ask them is, how old are you? Then they tell us like they're 7. They tell us they're 13 or whatever. Typically it's the ages where they're not going to be hired. And then that's how we hook them, because we let them know, like, well, why are you waiting to get hired? And then, then it goes to the conversation, I'm just a kid, and you got long conversations like, it doesn't matter. If you have something that people want and like, they're going to buy it. And then on top of it, they're going to buy it from me because it was like, I helped a cute kid today. So it's
raising
like,
a bunch of self-starters.
Yeah. So, it's, just, go for the goal. It's a good thing to just remind them, like, don't worry about age at this point. There shouldn't be age restrictions on making money and taking care of your home, so.
That's valid, for sure. Overall, like, what takeaways would you hope that your kids that you're working with would take from the program as they go on? Give us 3.
Yeah, the crucial. Yeah, so thank you. I like that space and grace.
There you go.
Yeah, networking, being able to employ yourself, and 3, just like remember why your feet hit the ground. Like those are the biggest things that we just like focus on, like making sure that the kids take out of here, because realistically, we're volunteering at a not-for-profit. All right, so the whole purpose of a not-for-profit is to basically cure a problem, cure a dilemma within a community and things like that. So the goal is for them to not even need these like resources or help anymore. It's okay to get the help. If you're struggling on food, if you're struggling on jobs and stuff like that, that's fine. But it's very it's a goal of ours to get them to the point where it's like they know how to network, and they know how to go ahead and not wait for anybody to employ them, not wait for anybody to give them information, to go ahead and just seek it on their own and go from there.
Self-sufficiency.
Yes. And it's hard, it's not easy. You got like all these different type of things that life's gonna throw at you, whether you're worried about taking care of your family, stuff like that. I would say that's like the biggest thing, like when it comes to our communities, like, it's very common, like, hey, I gotta watch the little brother, or I watch the little sibling, and stuff like that. But at the same time, getting them to understand and realize, like, after a while, you have to take care of yourself, and you're doing a disservice to your younger siblings if you're not teaching them how to be self-sufficient.
Absolutely. So, the moment we've been waiting for. We want to discuss the Black Panther movie. And I want to see from your perspective, because you're working with youth, have you seen or noticed any excitement around the movie coming out, or any impacts you hope it will have on your kids?
They are excited, but there's like, it's kind of like their reasoning for excitement is just a little bit different. I'm just come out and say it.
Yeah.
So I've been a black nerd for like 28 years, okay? And when it comes to like seeing black superhero movies, they weren't that common. Now they have existed. Now I'm not gonna be one of those people who's like, this is the first ever black superhero movie. No, I saw Blade, okay? I saw all 3 Blades, all right? I saw Meteor Man, all right? The bottom line is something of this caliber for like Black Panther is like, it's a huge deal. And then so with some of our youth that are older, some of them have been around just long enough to see like there has been a change, but like I feel like a lot of our younger youth are not necessarily like recognizing the diversity that's going on in the Marvel universe, because since they're so young, they're already exposed to it.
They were born into it.
Yeah. So they're born into it. So like, whereas like someone like my age and older, we're like, yeah, we got our own black superhero. Look at that. Like, we're like yelling, just losing our minds, acting a fool, just like calling off of work, planning our sick notes and stuff like that for to see Black Panther. That's where it's at. So the kids are excited. I just do notice that there's different levels and reasons. Some people are just excited, like it's another like awesome superhero movie because they've been growing up watching like the Avengers, like cartoon shows and stuff like that. But and also some of them have experienced the 10-year progress of like Marvel. Like, matter of fact, this 10-year progress. I think about it. I work with kids who they weren't even conceived yet.
Don't do that to us.
Like, I just thought about no, this movie's been going on for like 10 years. Like, there weren't even blueprints made for some of these kids to even see Iron Man 1. They probably didn't see Iron Man 1 until like their 5th birthday party. Then they had Iron Man trilogy. They probably had Iron Man trilogy for some of the kids working with. Now that I think about it.
That's trippy. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about what it means to you personally?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I've been following every single Black Panther comic, so this has been the day I've been dying to see and stuff like that. My excitement for like Black Panther is just the simple fact that like growing up in the 90s and seeing him in the cartoons and stuff like that, and constantly only hearing him being like often described as like, he's like, oh, well, he's like African Batman. He's like African Batman. Constantly hearing that, it's like, no, you're gonna see what this big difference is now. Because I feel like from this movie, you're gonna see like T'Challa like growing into like even becoming Black Panther.
Well, there you have it. Some really cool insights from Vitamin D on how he uses cosplay and his knowledge about video games to really help inspire the next generation of young entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Project Amazon. Hopefully we can all take a minute to think about how we can use our knowledge and talents to really inspire the next generation, just like Vitamin D. Well, that's it for this week. Amazon out.